Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. The Real Brokerage is revolutionizing the residential real estate industry by pairing technology with the guidance of the agent-led experience. Now, the company is using technology to improve efficiencies and also empower agents to provide a seamless experience for both home buyers and home sellers. So with me, Tamir, Poleg, the co-founder and chairman, and also agents Brad and Heather Cook. So great to have you all here. So Tamir, let's start with you. So you're traded here on the NASDAQ, REAX ticker symbol. You currently operate in 46 states as well as Canada. I mean, tell me a little bit more about the platform.
So real estate agents are required to work under a license of a brokerage, and we built a platform for agents to grow their businesses on. It starts with favorable economics for them. It continues with more financial opportunities, such as earning equity in the company they help build, and then a very collaborative community. And finally, the technology. The technology is actually an operating system for agents' businesses. We help them with marketing, we help them with closing deals, we help them with getting paid faster. So everything they need in the palm of their hands through our app.
Yeah, so it just makes it all more efficient, it sounds like. So, and Brad and Heather, I'll have you weigh on this. From your perspective, I mean, how has joining Real Brokerage been able to help you do your job?
So we've got a team in Charlotte. We've got one of the top teams. We're in the top 1%. And so our reputation and what we do matters a whole lot, that our agents are happy all the time. When we came here, we were part of a local firm. And I think the biggest takeaway from us that we've gotten out of this is the national collaboration of minds. That we've now got people all over the whole country to help us with ideas and thoughts. And you know, it's been a really great experience.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. Anything to add, Brad?
The financial opportunity that we were able to gain by partnering with Real, it's not something if we had started our own firm that we would be able to do. So that collaboration has helped, again, like Tamir said, with the technology piece, but the financial aspect that we're able to offer to our team members is, again, something that we couldn't do without them.
Yeah, and Tamir, you're the fastest growing publicly traded real estate brokerage, so that's true. Congratulations for that. What do you attribute that success to?
So yes, we are the fastest growing real estate brokerage in America. We finished last year with 212% growth in revenue, and last year was a difficult year for real estate. We attribute that to fast growth in agent count and also the fact that we help our agents close more deals. So we increase the per agent productivity. Moving forward, we will continue to add agents just because of the very attractive offering for the agents. So we are now at north of 10,000 agents, and we'll probably become tens of thousands of agents in a couple of years. So for us right now, it's just growing market share and just bringing the word to more and more agents across America.
Well, and it sounds like with that kind of growth, it's probably easy to attract agents. I mean, how do you scale up, and how are you able to get more agents on board?
Well, I'll say the challenge that we faced at first with Real being kind of a newer brokerage at the time that we joined with them, it was an unknown name. Now that Real has gotten to the point where, again, we're north of 10,000 agents, having those conversations has become a lot easier because people have an understanding of what it is that we are all about, what we're offering. So I think that growth has allowed an opportunity for us to have easier conversations with agents outside of our network currently.
Yeah, you've got some kind of evidence to back it up to say, yeah, look what you can do. So
it is, and what Tamir started out saying too, that everything being app-based and everything, the whole transaction process, when you're used to, as an agent, having 3 or 4 different systems to pass things in between, and there's all this confusion, having your whole business, like every piece of it, from your own commissions and pieces of that to what's going on with every single deal to having direct access to your broker right through an app, it makes it so easy and streamlined, and that makes people happy.
Yeah, and let's talk about the technology, because that's key, and I know that you think that home buying is more complicated than it needs to be. I would agree with that as well. It's intimidating. How are you using technology to make that easier, particularly for first-time buyers?
So We believe that if we truly care about our agents, we also need to care about their clients. And as you said, the home buying journey is now broken. And we believe that agents are critical to the transaction, but we also believe that technology can create great experiences. So what we are building right now is a consumer-facing app that will incorporate brokerage services, mortgage, insurance, title services into one end-to-end home buying journey that will just allow people to have a more convenient, speed, transparency when they're buying a home, and eventually it will completely change the way people buy and sell homes.
Yeah. And then you provide the platform, but you're the ones who actually deal with all the agents and stuff. So how do you think that will help?
I think it's only going to get better because it's kind of like if you look at Amazon, nobody's ever going to want something that is slower or that costs less. Amazon provides that ability. And I think it's kind of the same with what we offer here, is you're giving something that's future-proof.
Yeah, well, and we're all kind of used to that now, so we expect it in all of our transactions. Now, 2022, rough year for real estate. We saw interest rates double, really, basically, last year. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about just the real estate industry in general?
Yeah, so the market changed in the middle of 2022, and actually the fourth quarter of 2022 was one of the roughest quarters in more than a decade. Despite of that, we actually grew our revenue by more than 90% in the fourth quarter. But we went into 2023 quite cautious about the overall market. What we have seen at the beginning of the year was that there's very strong demand for housing. I think that what's happening right now is a psychological adjustment of consumers to a new environment of interest rate environment, and people still need housing. So I think that moving forward in 2023 and 2024, I think that there's strong demand, solid demand, there's not enough inventory. I think that prices will kind of hold and they will not crash as a lot of people think. So we're very optimistic about, at least about our performance in 2023.
Well, and the shortage of housing is well established. So thank you so much, Tamir, and also Brad and Heather for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Homeowners, it's time to earn up to 30% more income on your vacation rental property and say goodbye to endless rental headaches. Maximize your profitability and time when you partner with the Compass Collection. Our sophisticated approach to bookings, marketing, and revenue management is focused on delivering the ultimate level of service and success. Let us change the way you rent and unlock the full earnings potential of your property. Contact us today for your free home revenue projection at thecompasscollection.com.
Avenir Wellness is using technology to develop new products as well as ingredients for the wellness industry. And with me is the CEO, Nancy Duitch, to talk about one of your newest products, DNA Complex. I have the name right. Tell me all about it, and then let's talk a little bit more about what it does.
So DNA Complex is really stands for Deep Nano Active Complex. Okay. And basically, I was having a conversation with Rob Davidson, who's the developer and formulator and creator of this product. He's also created Zicam and chloroseptic strips and some other, fabulous, great consumer products. And he's a brilliant scientist. And he says, he goes, we have this new technology with these polymers that we have patents on. And he says, I think that we can actually get rid of temporarily the wrinkles and have the appearance of those disappear within 2 minutes. And I believe we can try to get it without having that white film that comes with most line fillers. And so as we went through the iterations, and we had 60 iterations over a year, and we also learned that because of how they did the encapsulation factor and how they created the formula and mixed it, that it also has long-term results as well for people.
So you launched this a few weeks ago. How's that going so far?
Well, we were really surprised. So we did a early access release, and this is something I like to do anyway, just to get a feel, is something going to work before I put, a lot of marketing dollars behind something. And so we actually released it with Nicole Kidman on Oscar night. And we had her makeup artist do her makeup and use the DNA complex for the first time on Nicole. And so her makeup artist gave all these interviews to InStyle and a ton of different magazines. And of course, we got picked up by everybody. And we started getting orders Monday morning. We then advertised in Skim. And the Skim, for those who don't know in your audience, is the largest women's beauty wellness newsletter in the United States. They have 7 million subscribers.
Yeah, there's huge success, yeah.
We were in there on Wednesday with DNA as a pre-sale, early access only. And when I woke up, I looked at my phone and I had over 100 orders on my phone at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I went, holy cow, what is going on here? I totally forgot that the Skim, puts it out at 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
California time. And I kept looking at it. And when we got into the office by 8 o'clock, we had $35,000 worth of orders. And by the end of the week, we had about doubled that.
Oh, wow.
And so we felt that this was a really great beginning, that the marketing was right, the messaging was right, and the Skim called us and told us we were their #1 item all through the month of March, that they had never seen such big success before. So
Interesting.
we were really excited about that, and we're going to replay it again as soon as we get more inventory.
I was going to say, do you have enough to supply all these orders?
Well, we will, but I have to tell you, we will in about 2 to 3 weeks. But I will tell you, the before and after pictures, the real time of people using this has been unbelievable. And I mean, really, to take a whole year to make sure there was no white film on your face was a major deal.
Can you talk about the science of it all? I know some of this is proprietary, I'm sure. You mentioned the patents, but can you talk about the science? Like, what went into making this product?
Oh, wow. So it was a lot of trial and error with different ingredients and different polymers and peptides. I think most people out there know what peptides are, at least women do. When you listen to TV commercials, that's all you hear is peptides. But what Rob did that was different is he was able to take this encapsulation technology that we own, that we have patents on, and actually make the ingredients go into the skin so that it works from the inside out as opposed to lying on the surface of your skin. So most products that you buy lie on the surface of your skin. They don't go into your skin to work. But with a great delivery system and this deep nano active delivery system that he created, it goes into your deep dermal layers and works inside out. And that's what makes it so special. And that is the trade secret. And that I can't tell you anymore.
Right, I'm sure, yeah. So where can somebody buy this or find out more information about it?
Well, you can go to seralabshealth.com, seralabshealth.com. We have a special landing page called DNA Complex, and you can go there to buy the product. We will have product in 3 weeks. For any of the audience who's watching, we are going to give a discount coupon, so it's VIP TV20 for anybody who wants to buy the product. I think it's a game changer for the industry and a game changer for this company.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see where this takes us, but I believe that, when you do a little test and it goes a long way, I believe that we're going to have a huge success with
Yeah,
this.
it sounds like a very successful launch already. So.
Well, what it's doing is people came in, they bought other products from us too. So I believe that one great hero product lifts all others in your line. So
yes, we get that kind of halo effect.
Exactly.
We see with some other companies. So
yeah.
Nancy, thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to come back and give you an update.
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring with OsteoCushion technology targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
OriginClear is transforming the water industry with revolutionary water treatment technology and innovative financing. With me is Executive Vice President Kim Berenger to explain the company. And recently, the water industry achieved a status of unicorn. There have been some companies in this industry who have been unicorns, which is a private company worth $1 billion. So tell me about that, and what does that mean for the whole industry?
Hi, Jane. Thanks for having me back.
Great to have you.
Hello. Yeah, it's very validating. I've only been screaming about this for 5 years. Welcome to the party. Where you been? In actuality, that unicorn was created through private venture capital. So the difference is, I think the street's waking up to the fact that this is a massive underserved business, and it's nothing more enduring. Technology can change day to day, but water is enduring. It will, it's not going to go out of style, I suspect, anytime soon. It was incubated by venture capital. There was no individual investor access. So if you and I said, look, I love this idea, I want to be involved, we're boxed out. OriginClear, what we're doing is the exact opposite. We recognize that in a $1 trillion space, you're probably going to have more than one unicorn. This is a unicorn creating space. We want to develop the next one, hopefully, but focus exclusively on individual investors to provide kind of what I would call mainstream investors or accredited investors with the same access to the same opportunity and structured in a way that creates generational wealth.
Yeah. Now, and I did read that the world's first trillionaire will be from the water industry. So how will that happen? Is there a way that OriginClear can benefit from that?
Yes and yes. So again, I think every time I've spoken to you, I keep mentioning it's $1 trillion opportunity, and people are like, yeah, it's water. But really, I think the way to phrase this is this. Yes, it's been $1 trillion opportunity all along, and I believe that the quote came from Forbes Counsel. So you have to ask yourself, okay, a trillionaire can be created. That's going to be an early player for sure. I don't think you can be a late stage investor in something and create $1 trillion of wealth. But let's focus on the fact that it now is quoted by Forbes Counsel as it's going to have the ability to create $1 trillion plus of wealth. Now, that's either going to be one individual, but what's the real benefit to that? What we believe is by focusing on the individual investor, we believe that there's a lot more impact and a lot more benefit of having $1 trillion wealth creation opportunity, and maybe decentralized water, decentralize the opportunity, create maybe 1 million millionaires. We think that's a lot more impactful.
Yeah, so just $1 trillion industry, and I guess that's what we've talked about so many times. And you've said before, water is the people's asset, so it's obviously something we need to survive. I mean, what do you mean by that? How could that benefit viewers?
Right. So the other part of your question was, how do we benefit? Well, big money is finally pouring into water. We're seeing Forbes Counsel say there's going to be a trillionaire created from it. We see now the first of many unicorns being created. Here's what's interesting about that company that just created a unicorn. It's exclusively in private water infrastructure. Okay. This is entirely what we do. Now, they're developmental stage, but they're going to do, I've often said, if you're Anheuser-Busch, if you're Pepsi, if you're Big Pharma, you don't need decentralized water pay per gallon. What you can do is basically construct a $100 million system, hire engineers round the clock, and you're not really a polluter anyway. Big businesses aren't. It's the small businesses that don't have access to that. So they're doing they're now in the developmental stage, what we've been already successfully doing for years, and I think that will be the benefit because the world is waking up to what we've been kind of that lone voice in the wilderness for a while. Now the world is going, oh yeah, water, that's huge. Well, it's nice to be right even if you're a little late to the game. Yeah. Right? Now, to answer your question about people's assets, MLPs were an instrument that was created 40 years ago, and it kind of catered to creating generational wealth for the affluent, accredited investors. It's been magnificent at doing that. It's got tax benefits. It's got income that protects against inflation. That came along when big oil was already a century old, okay? I have some wonderful video I'd like to share with you about a couple of our technology wins where we've gotten some installations. One of them is in Denison, Texas, just north of the Dallas area. But from Dallas up to the Oklahoma border, there's a corridor. There's an absolute land boom explosion. Thousands of manufacturers are going to be popping up, we think, over the course of the next 10 to 20, even 25 years. Now, manufacturers can't operate where there is no infrastructure. By doing what we do, by dropping these in like the Denison, Texas location, we can create a decentralized private water infrastructure system faster than they can even put up the building. You're going to see thousands of manufacturers come back from China, land in the United States, and by doing this, we can help facilitate an American manufacturing renaissance. And that's really exciting because not only because of the capital it creates, the jobs it creates, and of course the wealth.
Yeah.
And to be the focal point of that or to help facilitate that is really an exciting prospect.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting because these companies need water and they may have to wait for years for some municipality to install a...
Think about it, right? Think about it. So we're going to build a manufacturing plant as soon as they build 100 miles of pipe.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, right? We could literally build them as fast as the building, which I think is super exciting.
Okay, so last question, Ken, just about your customers and what is it you have so far. How have they been? They've been happy with the service. What kind of experience have they had?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay, when a 30-year veteran engineer says, "Holy cow, guys, you've blown me away. You just handed me the easy button."
Honestly, I was amazed. I was really looking for the easy button so that we can focus on doing what we do best.
You get that guy on recording saying, "Can you say that again, please?" So we've got a number of installations. North Texas, in my own area in Moscow, PA, they're putting in systems that are just changing the way people can develop property, both for the industrial and residential. Now, this is still an industrial-focused application, but I believe it'll kind of expand out into the residential home development market. When people have gotten used to having a certain way of operating, and they think that's their only option, and you get the brilliance of a Dan Early coming along with a decentralized system saying, "Here you go, you're in business." And when they're impressed with that, you know you've gotten kind of the right, you've captured the right tone.
Okay, thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Results, and we said, well, we actually did that for some animals and it worked really well. So we're excited to see what the feedback is from them on that application, but we love the veterinary field because they're thinking how we can use this in other applications.
There's some innovation going on out in the field, it sounds like.
Oh, it's great. It's great, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned Charleston, so that's your most recent conference. That was a rehab conference. So tell me about that a little bit and how was PetVivo received?
So we were the platinum sponsor because we had a couple of vets that really been using our product almost 2 years. And they were the key speakers. So we decided to sponsor, and then within the presentations and wet labs, they brought out how they were using Spring, the success they were having. So these conferences are one of the key drivers for veterinary adoption in the field because vets like hearing from other vets their success stories, and it makes them feel much more comfortable to use the product.
Yeah, let's talk about the Spring product a little bit, just for people who aren't familiar with it. How does it work?
Sure. So we developed a protein particle matrix that mimics cartilage and tissue. And these are naturally derived products. So the base proteins are collagen, elastin, and the carbohydrate that binds everything is heparin. Those are the building blocks of human tissue or animal tissue. And because of that, we've been declared on the human side as a human medical device because it doesn't create anything different. And the function, it's a mechanical function that makes it work. So when the particles go into the joint, it basically starts to form a scaffolding. It mimics the cartilage that used to be there, so it functions just like cartilage, but it's wet and lubricious, so it helps lubricate the joint every time the animal's moving.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so cats. So I mentioned dogs and horses. Cats is another potential application, and you have a study coming out on that soon.
Yeah, it should be around July. We'll be presenting at one of the conferences. The interesting thing is, I talked earlier about vets using it on different projects and functions, and quite a few cats have, vets have injected cats, and they're doing extremely well. So we're very happy about that. And with the increase in education to the consumers on how to identify osteoarthritis in your cat. It's really cool tests, red flag tests. So watching your cat coming off a table, how they respond is a very good clue if they're developing osteoarthritis, because diagnosing osteoarthritis within cats is very difficult. Cats, when they have an issue, they're very good at hiding it. They just avoid that action, or they just sleep.
Okay.
And everybody thinks my cat's getting older, they're just sleeping more, but they really aren't.
But they're really in pain.
Yeah, if you treat it, they will come back and be like they were 5-10 years younger.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have a new director. So tell me about that individual.
Yes, so we brought in Spencer Breithaupt. He was Vice President of Sales and Supply Chain at MWI Animal Health, our exclusive distributor. So he really knows how the product's going through the channel network. And he retired and took a little convincing of his wife that I won't take up much of his time.
Okay, yeah.
So his wife said, okay, so he joined our board probably about a month ago. So he's got a lot of years in the veterinary field. And, MWI for animal health, does $5 billion a year just in the United States. He's also chairman of the Animal Health Technology Corridor, which has about 26, 27 high-level technology companies in the animal health space. And he's chairman of that organization, which, speaks volumes, because, for him to come on the board of our company, I think is a good endorsement, because he truly believes we're going to help a lot of animals and a lot of people over time.
Yeah, okay. Well, John, thanks so much for coming back. I want you to come back after the cat study. Come so we can find out.
Absolutely.
How that goes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you so much.